Hey everybody, it's Eileen. Welcome to our Thursday Facebook Live. Lots to do today. I want to share a look at the Comfort and Joy kit and also show you how to make a sculpting foam sunflower. So these are so pretty, really easy to do, and I'm going to be using a lot of Sizzix supplies today, more than usual. So I think it's kind of fun to see what you can do with them all. Hi, Charlotta. How is everybody? Hey, Elaine. Good to see you. Teresita. Hi, Linda. Laura. Good to see you guys. Yeah, everybody's saying hi. That's always fun. There's a lot of supplies for this. My whole desk, plus it's hot because the trick that I'm going to show you involves an iron. So probably it's not a blade, but Leslie, you maybe should be afraid. It's like, why is it so hot? I'm sweating on this side. But it's a really fun technique that I think you're going to like to see. Hey, Diane, everybody. Hi, Naomi. Yeah, so let's see. This has been a really busy week. I'm working on an event in Teresita. We'll have more information for you, but it looks like we're going to have an event in Puerto Rico in December. So we're planning that very excitedly. That'll be fun. Hi, Andrea and Joy. Hey, Karen Bernardo. I got your email, and I think I can make the mats. I have to check on my black mat board supply. Hi, Carol and Brenda, Anna. Good to see everybody. Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. There's Lisa Townsend. All right. So I don't know if you guys have these supplies, but you might want to think about them. The first thing is I want to show you how these came out, and I finished them. I haven't really finished them. I thought what I wanted to tell you was I would add more pieces, like smaller pieces. Where is it? I'm trying to touch this. I would add more to my master board that we did on Tuesday. If you want to see how we did that, go back and watch the Tuesday event. We created a master board and then we cut it out and we used it on our geometric box. And I really like how they came out. I think I just want to add something here in these other blank triangles, even if it's just a distress or maybe stamp something. I'm not sure yet. Oh, Leslie went nuts with the master board. That was so pretty and colorful. Hi, Laura. How are you? Wendy Jean. There's Leslie. Yes, Charlotte or Teresita. That's going to be very fun. The smaller panels. Wait, where'd that go? Would be nice with just white embossed card. That would be very pretty, Naomi. That would give some, because it's like, it's just a little plain, but I don't want to go crazy with it. But I do like that when we did every other, then we could do two, we could embellish two of the boxes. So anyway, I just wanted to tell you my thoughts after, and look at how they nicely could be joined together, if you glued them. That could be a nice little desk organizer. And I bet another one would fit right here, which is giving me an idea. I don't have a third one to put in there. I'll have to think about this later. Hi, Dorothy Gibbs. Yeah, so today we're going to make some flowers, and I want to bring back a tool that we haven't used in a while. It's called the Twist and Style tool. If you haven't seen it before, I want to show you how it works. And okay, Charlotta's doing her mayor business here. She sent them on Messenger. You gotta love it. We're an action-packed group here. Okay, so let me just show you which one it is that we're going to be making. Now, this is the sculpting foam, this one right here. Let me take it out. So the thing that I love about the Biggs dies is how many materials you can cut with it. So we are going to, a master board would be great for flowers. Can you just see a cool, like sunflower? Masterboard sunflower, if you did like jelly prints and stuff. Naomi, yes, that was the idea of it scares you. Naomi, you can do that. You can do everything in a geometric way and it will work because you're still going to cut it up, so don't worry. You ordered some sculpting foam. Great. Hi, Sandy McQuaid. You'll be joining Comfort and Joy Saturday group. Great. I saw your name in there. Hi, Alexia. Yeah, and let me just leave just a little plug here for the Comfort and Joy group event. There's the kickoff event. And so you guys know, if you've been in the group for a while, we've had for the past 3 years the Comfort and Joy event, which is 2 weeks, and the team brings in ideas, brand new ideas. Every day during the week, we have a new idea. Well, this year we're adding the Comfort and Joy kickoff event, which you can find in my Etsy store. There is a small charge for it, but it's very affordable. It's $20. You're going to get a full day's worth of workshops from the team and I. So it's really going to be a fun event to kind of start the holiday season and go right into our Comfort and Joy event, which we'll have in the Eileen Hall fan club. So if you want to do that, you have to be a member of the fan club. If you want to join the fan club, just go over to the group, apply to join. You're going to have to answer some questions. If you don't answer the questions, then you can't do the event with us. So make sure you do that. And then that will be posted in the group immediately following, the Monday through Friday following the kickoff event. You don't have to go to the event ahead of time unless you want to. None of it, it's all going to be, one big celebration. You're not going to miss anything if you don't go to the kick. You don't have to start something and then come in and not finish it. It's all going to be just kind of like a big festival. I don't know what it's going to be. This technical stuff is going to kill me. But you have it on. Okay, Leslie. So you can watch it live or you can watch the replay. You can watch them in parts. If you're there for half the day, you can watch that. Come back later and watch the others at different times. You can come back and watch each event again if you need to. It's going to be a blast. So for $20, I think it's a really good deal. And the thing that I wanted to tell you about today is we do have a kit. Now, last year, I don't know. I guess we did do one each year. And it was just so that we added kind of little extra special things. Well, this year, I just have a couple things that I want to show you. And one of them I love. Wait until you see this. When I got these, I was so happy. All right. See this little container thing here? It comes with a lid, and the lid is tight. So you have to watch when you open it. But it's got 6 little compartments, and it works with the book box die. So you are going to get one of these boxes. I have them listed separately. If you want to, I have that listed now in the Etsy store if you wanted to get more, because what I was thinking was, wouldn't these be cute to separate like buttons, brads, little findings, jewelry stuff, beads? And it's also food safe. So if you wanted to bake something or make candy and put that in, make like a little cover and give it as a gift, I think it would be so adorable. So anyway, it comes with a cover. Is the book box die the one that holds the A2 cards? Yes, it is, Alicia. Did I bring one? No, I don't have one right here, but yeah, it's just called the book box, and it's, I think, 5.5 by 6.5 or 6.5 by 5. Anyway, this is kind of what I'm going to base my project on. You don't have to. You can use the book box. You can make a book. You can use any die you have and make a book, or you don't even have to make a book. We don't care. Whatever you want to make. If you want to make cards in the group, we are just going to be all there together, creating and sharing. Whatever it is that you do, just let us know. So yes, these are 1.5 inch compartments by 1 inch. You can fit a lot in here. So I'm just going to show you what comes with the kit. I can show when it comes later, but what is in here is these are little mini projects. So each little compartment holds a mini project. So I don't want to tilt that anymore, but I can show you when we turn this down. Wait, maybe if I put the cover on here, we won't spill it. So we have a little stitching project. We have a tassel. Well, I'm going to call it a dangle project. We've got a tag. I don't have all of the components here, but I'll show you some of the other things that you're going to get in the kit. You get 24 sheets of paper, and they're all coordinated. We have a lot of craft. I love the combination. It's so rich of like kind of natural and then the craft. So we've got, and then some of them are actually craft resist, which there's a lot of fun stuff you can do with that. So you get 24 4x6 sheets of paper, and we're going to get the actual book box die. You're going to get that cut out of chipboard, and it's already cut down for you. I was going to have you guys do it, but then I thought it's easy for me. And so this is going to fit right in the book. Ah, I'm losing stuff. Susie's going to kill me. We were here working on this for hours yesterday, and she's doing stuff at home, and I'm cutting stuff at home. So this is a lot of work here. Anyway, you're going to love it. We're also going to get some napkins. Wait until you see some of these. This one isn't that adorable? So that, you open up and you have like the 4 sides of that, just Santa face. But that one, and then you're going to get 6 or maybe more. I have some new ones that I haven't opened even yet. So they're kind of all like a natural look to it. And that's the feel of the kit, and what we decided to do with this event, because we've done bright colors. We try to change it up every time. Hey, Ramona. Hi, Donna. Yes, it's fun. It would cost the earth to post. I know it. I know, Dorothy. If there was a way. They're very light, though, but they're still probably going to cost like $12 or $13 to ship, which just kills me. But you're also going to get, I think we have 5 pretty envelopes. These are A2 envelopes, and then we're going to do projects with them in the group. So when is the kit going on sale? Sandy, I'm hoping to get it up over the weekend. We're very close. I just have to like calculate how much everything was and get a price, and then also kind of get them packaged up. We have them in piles everywhere, so we've got to put the covers on, make sure we have everything in there, and then it's a whole process. You wouldn't believe how complicated this is, but it's so fun. And then you're going to get like, I have a velvet ribbon, and it's going to get packaged in that. So it's really pretty, and I'll let you know. I'll post it in the group when it's available. But I'll just say, I'm also going to post a list of the items that are in it, generic list. And if you don't have these, or if you can get the things that we have, you probably have something that'll work. So didn't get notification. Shoot, why is that happening? It's so annoying. Well, I'm glad you're here now, Karen. Okay, she's saying hi from Scotland. Who else do we have here? We got Mona. So anyway, that's what's happening on the kits, and they're very close. So hopefully over the weekend I'll post them, and we'll get that going. And then we just get ready for the event. Okay, so we have sold, I think, 24 seats, and we're looking for 100. So if you want to share the event, that would be great. Let's get more people, because the thing is, it's going to happen in the fan club. So you could help us by inviting a friend, and maybe we get more people in the group, and just get another batch of new people in there. That's always fun. And yeah, we're gonna just have a blast. So I hope that you'll join us for the kickoff event. If not for that, then come and join us from the November 7th to the 18th. Okay, that'll be held in the Facebook group, the fan club. Okay, thank you, Leslie. You didn't get a notification either. That is so annoying. How many layers of petals do you need? Okay, for this one, let's get going. Lisa says, let's get going with this. All right, let me just make sure that I have all my announcements. Okay, just a couple things. I'm going to show you what we're going to use now while the camera's up. We're using this sculpting foam. Jeez. All right, I like this one. This is called Springtime, which it's not really, I guess it is a spring color, but I liked it because if you wanted to do 2 colors with the sunflower, you could. And it's nice to have that variation. There are a lot of varieties of sunflowers. So some the petals are variegated, some they're all the same. You know, you could always get these and kind of ink over them or put, you know, stain or crayon on, whatever. I have some stuff. Wait a minute, let me get it out here. I forgot to get this. These are another thing. Oh, shoot. All right, sorry. These are oil pastels from Sizzix, and these well, you can't really see. These are the colors they come in, and I was going to try these out. I used my shading brush and some pigment ink to get kind of variations on this. But today I thought I would try these. I've used them for other things, and what they are is like an oil-based crayon, kind of. Let me show you. They're really pretty. So these are the colors that they come in. So I thought the brown, you know, I would give that, it's kind of brownish gold. So I thought I'd give that a try. I have some other colors too, but you can you know, play around with it and use whatever you have on hand. Could even use markers, you know, to kind of get your shading in there. So, all right, more stuff on the desk. So I wound up using just this color, and you could do one with about a half a sheet. They're pretty big. They're 12 by 24 sheets. So this is what's left after I think I will have after I cut 3 sets. I have one that I'm going to cut. One thing that I will say, it's very staticky. So if you can get like a piece maybe of dryer sheet or something and put it on your hands, because it just sticks to you. Now, another thing that I wanted to say was that the inside of the flower. What I did here, this was a very bad experiment, although it kind of looks not too bad right now. I just cut a bunch of the centers and I trimmed them down and kind of made them into a pile. And then I put glue on it, and then I piled on these kind of seed beads. But it was very messy, and I know that Leslie was talking about some stuff called prills, and maybe they would work. But what I'm going to use today, hey, Mitziana, I'm going to use some leather for the center, which I think will be easier. And I'm going to use the Twist and Style tool, which I want to show you how that works. Okay? And let's get going here. All right, like I said, I have an iron on my desk. It's a little toasty here. All right, I am going to turn the camera down. So let's see how this works. I forgot I had attached my cord to a cutting pad, so the cord wasn't hanging in the way. And I have to put that back up there. Okay. I'm going to turn it around. Don't worry. If I can remember. It's been 2 days. My mouse is hot. All right, let's see what we got here. All right. We have a lot. All right, I already put my big shot down. So I cut some. Here's the die. So we have just a little bit of cutting to do, because I thought you might want to see how. Let me move this up a little here. All right, so we have the big petals, the little petal, smaller petals. This is the calyx, which I recently found out. That's the little thing that goes under the petals, like right there. That I did out of watercolor paper. Today we're going to make it out of the foam. Then I'm going to cut this center out of leather. That's a leather scrap that I have. Actually, that might be kind of pretty. I was going to emboss it too, and I'm going to use the this one because it just fits in the middle. And that was the sample that is on the packaging for the die, actually. That's how I made that one. So we're going to do that. So we're just going to cut one of them. I have a green one. I have 2 of each of these, and I'm going to cut another set. And I already cut the leaves. I cut 4 of those. You don't probably need 4, but you know. Now this is the green that came in the set, and it's kind of light, I feel like, for a fall flower. So we could ink this up a little darker. We could either add brown or maybe some darker green. So here are the two that I already cut, and you can see it's this lightweight foam, very light. It's way lighter than your fun foam. It's probably half of the depth of the fun foam. Okay, I'm looking over here. Hey, Ann Butler, you need to tidy up with your pokey tool and some foam to create center bits. Okay, I'm not sure what that's. I can't comprehend all this. Anyway, so we have two. This one I already kind of did, and this is the fun thing that I want to show you. We've done this before, but it's been a while. So I'm going to move this stuff that we already cut, and let's cut the rest. See how that's sticking to me? It drives me crazy. All right, let's cut our little center first and do the embossing. That's probably more than we need, but that's okay. All right, so I'm just going to run that through. Thanks, Anne. Oh, Mitziana's saying her hellos. All right, so we've got our little center. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch this out, and I'm going to get my, sorry for the clanging. You know, I watched one of these shows after. I was like, good Lord, that is so loud. I apologize. But, you know, it's kind of loud here. All right, so I am going to take my water and just give that a little spritz on the front and back, because I want that to get some nice embossing in there. Maybe rub it in a little. Okay. And then I'm going to look in my folder here and try to center that, you know, so that I get a nice little round. It's just, oh, maybe that's an easier way. Look on here. Okay. And then we just need one cutting pad because this is a 3D flower. Wait a minute. And why is that not going through? It's like all slippery. Come on. Let me turn it this way so I can give it a little push. Why is that not going? It is pretty thick, I will say. This is where I would get my stomach involved and push it with one. It will go because I've done it. What the heck? Let's try it just like this. Let me try it without. Let me try it with this other piece. This is a little bit thinner. There we go. All right. So if it's too thick, that is probably an 8-ounce piece of leather there. Is pretty thick. All right. Well, I think it's just going to get through one time. You might have to fiddle with your plates a little or use a thinner leather, but it will work. See, this is pretty thick and it got squished, but that's what you get. So if all else fails, the stomach, I know. It works. It's like, hey, I have it. I might as well use it. And maybe get another muscle or two in there. So, all right, so that's all we need for that. Now let's cut our additional, it's a little off center, but I can live with that. It's a flower and nature is not perfect, you know? I mean, it's not no two the same, right? All right, so let's just take this piece and see if there's a way we can fold it and get extra, but you know, this takes a little maneuvering. You could cut it and, you know, get it scaled down to exact, but I think I might just lay this on here and cut. So let's run that through and we've got a big cutting pad. I mean, this cuts like a dream. You could probably cut 8 layers because it's so thin. Right. All right. So there's that. We have a yellow leaf. So we could ink that up and use that still, and then still some more left over. So if you were going to make a flower, you probably could get 2 out of the one big sheet, 2 flowers. All right. So I think that's all the cutting we need right now. We're also going to use this. If you guys have this, this is the Twist and Style tool. Sorry, I got out of whack there. This came out a couple years ago, and you can use it either as a jewelry tool, but the reason I designed it, I worked with Sizzix and we came up with this idea. I worked with the engineers. It was really cool. And I wanted it to make flower centers, but they also were excited about the applications for jewelry. So you can also twist soft materials like embroidery floss and stuff like that. So we're going to work with this today so you can get a look at this. We're also going to be using the hot glue gun to put it together. Ooh, I lost the stand here. I'm just laying it on the table. All right, I'm going to put that on there. So the other thing that we're going to use is, this is my little Aliso iron. And this is how I'm going to curl my petals. Now you probably could use a heat gun, but this does all of them at one time. So I'm just taking it. It doesn't really matter which side you do. I haven't found that it does. And you just lay it on there and let it curl up. And the heat is just going to curl those for you. And see how that works? Isn't that cool? So you could crank out a lot of them if you wanted. If you wanted to curl more, you can do that too by hand. And you can use that tool that Sharon was using on the video the other day, the fold, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's like it curls things too. But look at that. I mean, they're so fast. You might want a little more curl. We'll play with it a little bit, but this is a good start. It does them all at one time and you don't have to mess with it. I think I'll go that way. And you can see it's starting to curl. Isn't that fun? That one really, wow, look at how much that one did. That's floppy. So if you want to adjust this, try to do it right away because it'll stay like that. But you have other petals pressing against it, so don't worry. Isn't that fun though? And if you wanted to kind of curl more, put it more like closer. Boy, these big ones are really, they're going to town. All right. You wonder if a hot foil, I don't know. I don't have one of them. Leslie has every gadget known to man. Try it, Leslie. Let us know. I might have to go buy one. All right. So see, these are nice and quick. We still have to color them a little bit, I think. This is one that I did. I don't know if it's going to go anymore, but let's give it a try. Yeah, that's kind of as much as it's going to do. All right. So if you want to do your leaves, you could do them too. I think we definitely need to do this calyx thing because I like how that looks when it's kind of going down from the flower. And these are pretty realistic, I have to say. And they pretty much dry or, cool down right away after, but be careful. I mean, this is a pretty hot iron. I think I put it on 3, the third setting, which is the highest. If you want to do the leaves, you can. But another thing that you can do with them is you can take your little pad thing here. This is a Sizzix mat. And you can take these are the tools, the flower tools. But I also like to use this, your pokey tool. And then you can just add those in, these lines right here, and just kind of trace those in. And if you ink that, you'll see it'll be cool. So I think we probably need to ink it, but I'm going to just take my tweezer, put that on there, and it just kind of gives it a little flair, So when you're when you put this together, or, you know, put it like that, it's going to kind of have some shape. Now this, I'll tell you about this. This was done with ribbon. This is like velvet ribbon. So you can change out what you're using and just combine things. That's the fun of it, you know. So this is like a velvet ribbon. I did two. Then I did my little stem thing and I glued these together so it's on the same front and back. So, you know, take your supplies and play around with it. They're really fun. Now, the other way, if you don't have an iron nearby or you don't want to mess with it, you can run your little tool around the edge and it will curl up. Because what you're doing is you're stretching the foam and, you know, it'll have a little, see how it's kind of like that? I don't know if you can see. Hi, Helen. Hey, Tony, how are you? Hope you're feeling good. All right, so everybody, your twist and styles is hiding in your chaos. Oh, no. But see, that took a while to do. I'd rather just take my little tweezers and do it like that. So I'm lazy. And I like how it looks. I mean, it does do a good job. It's not real crazy, but it does give it some shape. You know, it's not curling right up. You wouldn't want that because then you'd be afraid it would burn. I mean, if you held it here too long, it probably would. The longer you hold it, the more it's going to curl. So just be aware of that, okay? And don't put your finger on the tweezer right away because that is hot and that's metal and that will hurt. All right, see how that's a little more. I held it down a little more. Sometimes it will heat again. Sometimes it just kind of stays. No, that one's going. Oh, that's the one that I did by hand with the tool. So any way you do it, they all work. It's good. All right, I think that's all I want to curl. So I'm going to turn this off now because I don't want to burn myself or my table or anything else. I do like this little silicone thing because you can set it on your desk and it doesn't heat. But there's that one. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is I think that I will color these just a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to get my mat and my brush, and I'm going to get some ink. Where is my brown ink? Well, maybe not. I don't know where my brown ink is. Let's try this one. All right, we'll just use a stamp pad. Safer than a scalpel knife. So I'm just going to kind of ink that up a little, test it out. Looks good. You don't have to do all of them because they're going to sit in between each other and you'll get different looks. That was probably too much, but you know, don't worry about it because they're all gonna fall in a different place, and if you don't like one, it's not gonna stand out. I don't know why that one didn't curl. Weird. Okay. I was so mad. They called me from assisted living and said that they were that mom needed to go into the next level of care, which was an additional $80 a day. And they said, so we're going to have to charge you for the last month. And I was like, why didn't somebody tell me this ahead of time? That's like an extra $2,400. You know, I just couldn't believe it. And they're just like, oh yeah, so that'll be added to her bill. Like, well, what if she didn't have it? Ugh. Anyway, sorry, I had to blow off steam. And lucky you got to hear it. But I did speak pretty sternly on the phone because it's like they should be thinking about stuff like that. And I just think, what if mom didn't have anybody sticking up for her, you know? So irritating. It's hard to be older. That's all I'm seeing. All right, well, I didn't ink these up too much, but that you'll still be able to notice. And let's just do a little bit on the edges here because I feel like this is kind of dark. I mean, a little light, and it could use being darkened up a little bit just to kind of give it some depth. So next time Eileen Hall uses a craft knife, think of the iron and foam. It could be worse, right? I was very safe. Didn't you see? Come on. I'm fine. It's really a miracle I haven't hurt myself any worse ever. All right. You can also kind of fold that in half and let it have a little, little shape there. Is your dad in military? Sometimes the VA offers. Well, her husband was, Vince was, but we tried that out when she went in there, and I don't think I don't know. It kind of went south. She didn't qualify, or I don't know what it was. Might have been one of my sisters was looking into it, so I can't remember exactly what they said, but he was in the Air Force. Seems like I'm flattening these. I don't know if I like that, but hopefully it'll go back out. Okay, so now we have all of our petals. We have our center. Now we're going to get to the twist and style tool, which is fun. All right, let me get this. So let me show you what all, oh, here's that ribbon. So this came from Dollar Tree, and I mean, this was like 360 inches, whatever that is, however many yards, a lot. And it just made it to cut the leaf. So I thought, what a pretty color. And I like the velvety feel of it. So if you take a look and see what they have there. All right, so this is the twist and style tool. It comes with two pieces. This is kind of the base. This is the handy thing because this allows you to use both hands to twist the twist and style tool. And this anchors your wire or whatever it is that you're twisting, okay? So we're gonna do that. The wire that I'm gonna use today is 22 gauge. I wouldn't use anything lighter than that. I mean, you could, but you want the stem to be sturdy. And if you make a heavy flower, like I did this one, and this, I had to twist twice because this beaded thing is very heavy. This one I used felt leaves. And here's a couple others while we're looking at them. This is a cone flower. So, this is the same die that made the cone flower. You can kind of see that shape. So we'll do that another time. But here's the wire that I'm using. It comes in green, silver, whichever you get. We're going to cover it with this floral wire, so you don't have to worry. You also need a button or two. We're not going to worry about the bottom piece today, just the top. So you'll see in a minute. All right. So I'm going to take out I tend to cut them longer. I make longer stems just in case, I don't ever know what I'm going to do with it. So if I want to add this to that bouquet, I can always trim it down. I can't make it longer. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to get my clippers here. This stuff is pretty thick. Come on. I have to get just exactly the right spot before I'll trim. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your button and you're going to put that on. So thread it through, and then you're going to put these ends together and kind of go like this. Okay. Yes. Oh, hey, Cassie. Yeah, you need one of these. They're really fun. Okay, so let me see if I can do this without wrecking this. I want to show you. Here is another part to let's see, maybe I can just go like this. This is something called the Twist Assist. So this is something that my son-in-law made for me because I was going to all these trade shows and stuff trying to demo this. And whenever I would put my base on the table or something, it would fall off because it's got to have a very strong suction. So it needs something very smooth, like my quartz countertop works great. But if you have a piece of wood, you know, air gets underneath and it won't stick. So you need to have this. This made it more portable. So I'm just going to give this a little lick because that helps it to stick down better. And then you're just going to press that and lock it down. Okay. So now we've got that. That's pretty secure. So I'm going to take my end here and I'm going to stick that in. And this actually should be like that. Wait a minute. This is kind of bigger than what I usually use. It should be fine. We'll play with it after. Then you're going to take the end of the tool. I like to use the hook. Wait a minute. Let me see here. All right. And then I'm going to take this and you want to twist the wire around itself. Don't twist it around this hook because that doesn't work. I'll tell you. Then you're just going to, wait a minute. You're just going to start twisting and your wire is going to make this perfect coil. Oh, look at that. All right. Am I good or what? And so just, you know, keep even tension on it. You can make it as thick or as thin as you like, you know, as twisty or not twisty as you like. And when you're done, you know, you just stop. Okay, so what's going to happen is you lift it off and look at this nice, cool stem you have. All right, so take it off the wire, the hook here, and just trim this little thingy off at the end. Get it in just the right spot. And there you go. You've got a cool little stem. All right, so this, oh, you know what I did wrong? I should have put it between the two buttons. That's why it's not working. It's still going to work for what we're doing today, but you should thread it through the, you know, I haven't done this in a while. Oh, all right. Let me just tighten this up a little bit. I don't want it flopping around, but it's not really going to matter, but I just like it when it's tighter like that. Okay. So the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to put our flower together. All right. So we're going to start with the smaller petals first. I'm going to thread them on. Now, at this point, if you wanted to curl them, you could, but you still have another chance to do it. It's just easier, like, you know, when you're, well, where did that little bone folder thing go? I got one out of its package, but you really could use anything. I mean, you could use the end of a brush or, you know, if you didn't have one of those tools or if you didn't have an iron, you would just take it and go around like this and you're going to curl these petals up and just gives it a little dimension and makes it look more real instead of flat. I mean, why would you do flat when you could have dimension? So you just start threading. Oh, whoa, I forgot to move my camera. Sorry. You need to change the camera again. So sorry. Thank you, Charlotta. So what I was showing was I just had this old paintbrush here. This is what I was saying. So if you didn't have an iron or, you know, a tool designed to curl flower petals, you could just take this and do it. It's not as dramatic as when you do paper. You know, that does curl a little better. Now, I forgot on this one, I added a base that was watercolor paper that, or no, this is the Sizzix paper. So I cut a paper base for that one, maybe to fill it in. So you can do a combination of paper and foam, however you want to do it. You know, it all looks pretty. All right, so I'm going to do my 3. Wait a minute. Let me do this one first because this is a little more curled up. So that's going to be the first one. Then I'll do this one. And you can either glue them as you go or you can wait until you get them all loaded on there. And I know that this is not centered. If I had done it through the loop, it would be. but because I'm going to add this after, it's going to cover it anyway. It's not going to matter. So I'm not going to worry about it for this one. It already does look good. So I have my hot glue ready to go. So I think what I'll do is I will add it, you know, as I go. So just add a little bit of the glue and it'll stick just fine. You only need one piece. And then what you want to do is kind of offset these petals. And you know you have 3 layers. So what I do is I just, you know, turn it so that they all kind of lay like that, you know. So didn't get very much on the first one, but sorry about not adding that or not turning the camera. All right, that's way too much. You only need a little dot, and you could use regular glue too. And also, if you wanted to leave a little gap, you know, like to let there be dimension in between, you could do that too. Like add some foam dots or something, you could do that. All right, let's add, now this one's a little wacky, so I'm going to do that next. Let's try the, I like having a little bit of time to, you know, place it where I want it. But the hot glue does give some nice dimension, so that's kind of cool. It makes it a little thicker. All right, see, look at that one crazy one. I must have forgotten to glue it. All right, I finally got a new glue gun. Just need to get myself used to it. Yeah, it does take a little, you never know how they're going to come out. All right, so just offset that. I didn't do that. Like that. And just kind of fiddle. Oh no, I left one off. Shoot, how did I do that? I should have 1, 2, 3. Huh, 1. Oh, did I? Oh, this big one curled up in the middle. You know what? That's all right. Shoot. You know what? Let me just cut one more. Sorry. I have all the stuff out. That's going to bug me. I want it to be nice and full. I'm just going to do it over here very quick. So my heat gun is not still on, but oh well. It's coming. Well, we can try curling this one by hand. Today is one of those days, guys. All right, luckily I had enough. So let's see how this works if we do it compared to the other one. Let me just ink it up a little bit before we... I mean, it's the back one, so it shouldn't matter that much. It'll be underneath everything else. I just feel like the ink does give it a little bit, it tones it down a little. This is pretty bright. All right, let's get our, oh, it's still, oh, I was like, maybe if I pull it a little and give it a little more pressure. Yep, it will. It came right off. Just gonna glue it back on. And it'll be a little short one. It just wouldn't be alive if everything went well. All right, so this one, let's see, we could put this little one on top here. See what I did? I took this big one. Oh, wait a minute, maybe I can. All right, well, you have to fiddle with it a little bit. You can see. Little adjusting there, no problem. Just a little flower. Nature is different, right? Lord. All right, that will look better. And now we have an extra one too. The more the better, really. Just the more full it will look. And sometimes if you kind of scrunch it up a little, it will remember that shape. Oh, our little petal fell off, but that's all right. Okay, now I am going to hot glue the center in. And I mean, it's a little wonky, but what are you going to do? All right, and I also didn't glue in these, so let's do that. I'm going to do glue on both of them while we're at it. Poor little thing, lost an arm there. Horticultural surgery. All right, that looks. See how much that curled it in? I don't think there's any heat left to. Oh, still pretty hot. It actually is curling them a little bit. Let me get that one. See how it did? All right. So you could do that. You could probably do this whole thing and put it on the iron. I don't know, but that would be good test. All right, this one, I think we need to do hot glue in here because leather is pretty sturdy and we want it to stick. All right. I've had better, but not too bad. See how these are overlapping? You just kind of want to shift them around a little before you glue them, of course. Anyway, all right, so there we have our flower. Wait a minute, it's a little off. See, the thing about it is once you shrink them, then they're smaller, you know. So the flower becomes smaller and the center looks bigger. On this one, it does look a lot. And plus, this is more curly. So you know what? I'm going to turn this back on and see if we can curl that whole thing up again, just to see. And if I can't, you know, at least we know. All right, so the last thing that we want to do is we want to add our leaves. So the way that you do that is this stuff is the floral tape. It doesn't really get its adhesive until you stretch it out. So start it off, and what I do is I do a layer down the flower. Oh, you know what? We forgot about the little calyx. All right, we gotta have that. So let's just glue that on. And that's going to keep our whole flower together, really, on the bottom. All right, so it looks pretty. So let's start wrapping it. Usually I just take this and I pull a piece off and just, you know, start curling it or like wrapping it. So I make a little thing up here and then just start pulling it down as I go and wrapping it around the stem. And once you get going, you can kind of twirl it like this. And just stretch and twirl as you go. Oh, I'm dumb. I didn't realize you had to stretch the tape to make it sticky. Well, you know, they're a pain. Yeah, if you stretch it, you know, it will stick better. So I'm doing this one pretty thick. The thing is, when you add on the leaves, I think I'm going to have to make another stem for them. So I'm going to twist another piece of wire and get that on there. Sometimes you can, if you want, I mean, the easy way would be to just glue this on under, but if you want to do it like this, you need another piece of the wire. This one kind of came apart a little bit. and it's kind of a messy job, but I hadn't done it in a while and I kind of forgot how you do it. But then you just tear that off. And then, you know, like I said, if you wanted, you could just put this on here, put it on here and stick it in the bouquet and it would probably be fine. Or more light leaves, you know, around like that. Pull them out a little so you can see them. But let's just go ahead and let me twist another piece while we have everything out. And I'll show you how to do that. Not that it's hard or anything. And I don't know, I have never like taken a class or anything. This is just kind of what I figured out. You may know a better way. And if you do, please tell me. Now this one, we're not going to put a button here. We're just going to loop it. All right, so I'm not going to move the camera. You saw what I did. Well, actually, I think you can see. I'm like wrapping around the corner here. I can't really adjust that too much, but this is just a little baby stem. But all right, you can watch it twist though. Can you see that? It's really fun. I mean, it makes you just want to twist a whole bunch, and that is usually what I do. I twist a whole bunch of them, and I have them on hand, and then when I go to make something, I know I'm going to adjust the camera. Let me just get this thing off. I have a bunch of stems that I can, you know, work with, and I don't have to stop everything like this and go cut another one. So what I do for the leaves is I will take this, and I actually like this thing because it's flat, and I can glue that to the back of it. Sometimes I chop this off because I'm going to wrap that. In fact, I think I will. I'm going to wrap that with the this tape stuff. So I'm just going to pick off another thing here, and I'm going to hot glue this to the back here, and that'll stick pretty well. And I'm going to give that a minute to just cool. And I'm going to start making sculptures soon. And this one, oh yeah, it would be like an armature. Yeah, Cassie. Now see, if I stuck that on there, that's going to curl the wrong way. So I may just leave it like this. Although I could go like that and cover it. Maybe I'll just do that. Maybe I'll do that with glue. We have 4 leaves, so we might as well. I like to have the finished look. Just have to make sure that they're the same way because these are kind of curled. You know, you could flip it and use it the other way too. All right, so there's one. I would match these up better. But when you curl it, you kind of lose a little. Let's see, that's not sticking too well. All right, let's use the hot glue. It just gets so, you know, the hot glue, I like it because it's strong, but it also gets bumpy, and you have to be so careful about getting it right where you want it because it won't adjust. But that's all right. Yeah, that does look a lot nicer, I think. You could draw leaves on here too. And you know what? I forgot to use our little thingies here. Let's see. I think we still could. Let's see what happens. Let's do like a little thing down the middle. This is pretty. Oh, that's like actually not bad. You know, it's nothing fancy, but it just adds a little something. And the thing that I like about this is you can adjust these once you get them on wrapped around the stem. You can adjust where you put these. So then let's do these. Same thing. And we're just going to add this to the other end. This one doesn't have that little flat thing, but that's all right. we'll just want to let that settle on there. didn't have sound. I'm so sorry. Ah! All right, let me see if I can turn this around. And I'll just talk to you on this. It's so dumb. Ugh. All right. Sorry, guys. You see how hot I am? I have that iron going. My God, I'm dying here. I can't believe that I didn't have sound for I don't know how long. I'm glad I can laugh because I would just scream. This whole day is just a mess. All right, well, we have days like that. So anyway, sorry about that. I'm not going to be laughing, Beatrice, when I realize I'm going to be mad. Like, why did I do that? You know what? When I plug my computer in, I think the cord is getting like finicky, and it just didn't charge, so it turned off. But I'm glad that the phone was plugged in, so we're good. Anyway, you saw how to do it. If you have questions, just put them in the group there or the chat, and I'll come back and tell you. Okay? All right. Sorry, guys. Disaster. I wonder why my numbers are going down. All right. We'll see you soon. Bye. All right. Now I have to figure out how to turn it off. I don't think I can get out of here. This is too much. End. Okay. There we go. No disaster? You don't think so? Tiana. All right, guys. So now I can see. It was at the leaves. Oh, shoot. Well, you watched how I did it, right? So hopefully you saw. Okay. I'll watch it. Maybe I won't watch it. I'm not going to watch it today. Can't do it. But I'll look at your comments and I'll answer if you have any questions. Okay? Thanks, guys. See ya.